Hey everybody, Mrthefanboy here, Douglas Blair Roberts, and of course the Super Beta 400 here. Back for another video, and as you can see by the title above, this is my rant on All Elite Wrestling and why I do not like All Elite Wrestling. Like I said in my last video, my TNA video, I have a like-hate thing with All Elite Wrestling. There are a couple things I like about All Elite Wrestling, which I'm going to talk about in the on-camera portion of this review, but there are a lot of things I cannot stand about this promotion. In the last two shows, Double or Nothing and Fyter Fest, I was completely disappointed with. They had their moments, but both of these shows were colossal and utter disappointments and are already some of the most disappointing wrestling shows I've seen this year. So, with that being said, let's get started right now. Time to hit my music, man. Yeah, where was I? Yeah, like I said in the off-camera portion of this video, there are a bunch of things, there are a couple of things I like about All Elite Wrestling, and there are a bunch of things I can't stand about them. Let's start off with what I like about All Elite Wrestling. A lot of the wrestlers I like that I wanted in New Japan, TNA, Major League Wrestling, World Series Wrestling, some of them are in World Series Wrestling, and yeah, pretty much those promotions in the National Wrestling Alliance. These are some of my top promotions these are some of my top and favorite promotions of today. Some of the wrestlers I wanted in these promotions, they're I want they're in All Elite Wrestling. They're in All Elite Wrestling. They're the new promotion in town. Everybody wants to go there. Everybody wants to go there. The second thing I like about All Elite Wrestling is um, um, is the fact that they're coming to TNT later this fall. So that gives me another wrestling program to watch, because I do not watch WWE. I follow the highlights because I can't stand I still hate WWE, but there are a couple of things I like about WWE that I will talk about in a WWE rant, which is next after this. But let's go back to All Elite Wrestling. All Elite Wrestling. So that's number two. Another wrestling program to watch. Another wrestling program to watch. Three, the various veteran wrestlers like Jericho, Goldust, and Diamond Ellis Page and other wrestlers who are involved with this product. And number four is the skits. It's the skits and stuff. At Fyter Fest, they had a skit involving the Young Bucks and a Georgia independent wrestler named Matt Sells. Matt Sells, he was the guy doing the dancing thing. Then Young Bucks came out dressed as Ryu and Ken, dressed as Ryu and Ken from Street Fighter. Then the lights went out, and if you ever played Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, the final edition, I've never done it, but if you can play the entire game without losing a round, out of nowhere, after you defeat Bison, Akuma, who made his debut in this game, will come out of nowhere and perform his finishing maneuver, the Shingatsu no Hado. The Shingatsu no Hado completely kill Bison, and the final fight will begin. And that's what happened. It made it like that. This Matt Sells will be teaming up with them, but then the lights went out, and Kenny Omega performed Shingatsu no Hado on him, and came out in his regular attire, but with a haircut similar to Akuma from Street Fighter 2. That was the only thing. That was only these little skits and stuff. These little skits and stuff, and of course John Moxley, who is so much better in All Elite Wrestling than he was in WWE. So those four things right there are the things I like about All Elite Wrestling. Now, let me get to why I do not like All Elite Wrestling. And it's first off the rating of talent. Number one, the rating of talent. Stealing talent from New Japan, TNA, Ring of Honor, etc. etc. And another thing I don't like, Ring of Honor is doing this. Yes, I don't like Ring of Honor either. I'm going to talk about them in another video too, why I don't like about them. And one of the reasons I do not like about Ring of Honor and All Elite Wrestling is too, not only are they competing with WWE, which I do not like, but they're trying to monopolize the entire wrestling business. And they're competing with Impact Wrestling, the show I want. At first, when I first heard about All Elite Wrestling, I was mixed towards it. I loved All In. That I actually consider that one-time show to be one of my all-time favorite promotions. I love All In, but I do not like All Elite Wrestling. All In had wrestlers from all over the world, from various promotions. This is just various indie wrestlers under one roof. I don't think I want to see a weekly monthly show. And I want to show I like All In, 'cause that was a once in a lifetime thing. I'm still looking forward to All In 2, but that was a once in a lifetime thing. Now this is a weekly promotion that's trying to compete with WWE with nothing but indie stars, oh, and has-beens. So that's one thing. Like, and they're competing with Impact Wrestling. They're raiding their roster. They got LAX, they got Impact, and they got who else? Yeah, LAX, Impact, and now they're trying to get Killer Cross. And here's the problem: I have no problem with those guys wrestling in All Elite Wrestling, but why can't they do both? Why can't both companies work together? You're trying to tell me the Young Bucks are still mad from their time in TNA? They weren't as in demand as they are now. And TNA was under different management then. No one from that era of TNA is still here now. Now. Yeah, so monopolizing the business and rating talent. Number three, the action in the ring. It's just a bunch of spot fest garbage. I love indie wrestling. Indie wrestling is not spot fest garbage like everyone seems to think it is. Indie wrestling is storytelling and psychology, and just like with strong style New Japan Pro Wrestling, wrestlers who didn't get to shine on the big stage in WWE or got horribly misutilized, you get to see them a way better side of them and just a way better project with low budget too, especially since they don't travel and stuff. You see better matches and better storylines and everything, and that's why people like indie wrestling. All that spot fest flips and kicks BS. I don't like that. I don't like that garbage either. That's not indie. That's not indie wrestling, and that's what every fight. That's what every fight is. Every fight is that, except for Cody and Kenny Omega, Havoc, and that MJF guy and John Moxley. Everyone is pretty much that type of wrestler here. Everyone is that type of wrestler. That boring spot fest garbage, garbage. And it's just a bunch of matches. It's just a bunch of matches with no storylines. Only a few have a storylines. Then the few that have a storylines, they're absolutely terrible. Let's talk about the first show, Double or Nothing. What the best fight of the night was Goldust and Cody Rhodes. We had Cody Rhodes saying crap like, "Oh, I'm gonna bury and destroy and end the Attitude Era." The Attitude Era's been over for what? What? The Attitude Era's been over since 2002, man. 2002. 2002, and I would say 2012 when it officially ended when Linda did her Senate campaign. And it's not even a top guy from the Attitude Era. That promo would have more. That would promo would be more epic and cool if it was a wrestler from a top wrestler from the Attitude Era like Rock, Austin, Triple H, Taker, King, Kurt Angle, but no, it's Goldust, a guy who helped start the Attitude Era. It was his controversial Goldust gimmick that was edgy, new, and pushed the envelope towards a more adult-oriented product. But Goldust was not the top guy in the Attitude Era. He was barely even a mid-carder in the Attitude Era, and by '99 he was gone. So yeah, so by beating Goldust, you're killing the Attitude Era, and no one cares. Next is the next best match of the night was Jericho and Kenny Omega. Jericho is old now. He's old now. He's 49 years old. He's 49 years old, and um all he can really do is street fights. And then see, unlike in New Japan, which I think his New Japan stuff is better than All Elite Wrestling. All of their New Japan stuff was better than his All Elite Wrestling stuff. They don't have the New Japan wrestlers who can like really challenge them and really force them to work and go in the ring. So we get boring brawls, and old school wrestling matches involving Cody, Moxley, Jericho, MJF, and hardcore matches involving Havoc, and then we get spot fest garbage involving the Young Bucks, Pentagon Jr. and Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix. Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix, they were so much better in TNA, and I so wanted that to last longer than it did. And they're no longer in Major League Wrestling either. So there's MJF. Well, I don't think they're competing with Major League Wrestling because MJF is still under contract with Major League Wrestling and is appearing here. So yeah, just boring spot fest garbage. The one of the matches I was looking forward to, Angelico and Jack Evans, Angelico especially, who I definitely wanted to Impact Wrestling since Angelico was finished with Lucha Libre based promotions. I was hoping that after he got done in British wrestling, would come here to America to Major League Wrestling and Impact Wrestling, Impact Wrestling or World Series Wrestling, since that's an Australian promotion, and Angelico is from Australia. But no, he signed to All Elite Wrestling, and him and Jack Evans have garbage spot fest matches with Trent Beretta, and I think it's Chuck Taylor, the other guy, best friends best friends. Whenever then they get attacked by a tag team called the Super Smash Brothers at the end. At the end, it's just a bunch of indie stars and has-beens. All in, which was way better. I even consider them separate promotions. When you ask me my favorite promotions today, I often list All In as one of my favorite promotions. That one-time wrestling show was awesome. They had all the wrestlers. They had all the wrestlers from all over the world. They had the lineage of the NWA title, which was the main feud, Magnus and Cody for the NWA Heavyweight Championship. Well, here we got a garbage Attitude Era feud with a star who wasn't even the top guy in the Attitude Era. Then we got an old Jericho. You can tell Jericho cares more about his New Japan stuff than he does here. He's only here for the money, basically. What basically? So yes, I do not like all elite wrestling, and hopefully when they get to television, it gets better. Because right now it's just a bunch of shows with a bunch of matches, and only three have storylines, and every match is the same. It's the same. It's either a spot fest garbage, which is most of the show, some kind of hardcore match, or just some lame brawl. New Japan, TNA, World Series Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance with Magnus. All these are way better when it comes to wrestling, storylines, characters, and stuff in the ring. They don't have half the roster this has right here because All Elite and WWE are, like I said, are rating these rosters. Rosters, man, last is the production value. A lot of production values are big. A lot of production values are much bigger than TNA. They still look like the small promotion. TNA looks more professional and bigger than All Elite Wrestling. All Elite Wrestling does. That looks like some big budget indie show. That's what it looks like. A big budget indie show. Just like WWE. A big budget indie show is what that resembles. What that resembles. Hell, some of this look like WWE. When people say All Elite Wrestling's a WWE wannabe, this is what they're talking about. That's what it looks like. And it's some is even worse because WWE has wrestlers of all different sizes. Everyone here is a cruiserweight and or has been with only a few good gyms. So yeah, already this is one of the worst promotions of 2019, and it's one of the worst. And all like I said, Fighter Fest and Double or Nothing were two of the weakest and worst shows I've ever seen. They had their moments, but as a whole, they were uneventful and just unenjoyable and just unwatchable, man. Unwatchable. One thing I like about All Elite Wrestling, a lot of wrestlers I like wrestle there, and it gives me another wrestling promotion to watch because I do not watch WWE. I do not watch WWE. I stopped with Ring of Honor. I stopped with Ring of Honor, which when I had Comcast cable, I got a channel that shows a replay of Ring of Honor, and and now I now have the Access TV, so I can watch New Japan Pro Wrestling now, which is awesome. So yeah, this was my thoughts on All Elite Wrestling. I hate All Elite Wrestling. I love All In, which you also heard me using their theme. I still love All In. That is one of my all-time favorite wrestling shows and one of my favorite wrestling companies to date. Hopefully the sequel to All In is much better. But I do not like this All Elite Wrestling bullshit right here. This is one of the worst ever. I've actually been silent a couple of months because I don't like it. I'm I'm not a WWE fanboy. I hate WWE too, but I'm in the crowd who doesn't like All Elite Wrestling. I know a lot of my friends do, but I for one do not. So with that being said, I'm done. Time to hit my music. I am all in, but I ain't all elite wrestling.